my name is Cherie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this channel, I talk about living life abundantly by strengthening your relationship with Jesus Christ. We do a lot of inner work on this channel, and I also give homework. So if this sounds interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Today, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to do a live Bible study. So I'm gonna put my timer on for 10 minutes and I'm not gonna stop it, and you're gonna hear everything in the background. You probably hear my dog's feet, you're gonna hear my stomach growling, you're gonna hear all of it because I'm not gonna edit or cut it. So I'm gonna start my timer now. And I just felt the need to do this, or I guess I don't know, I kind of like felt the urge to do this just because I feel like it was so helpful to me. I actually saw this on someone else's YouTube channel about how to study the Bible. So I just wanted to, share it, and I'll link it down below as well. So I'm going to like physically do this right now with a verse. So this morning I woke up and I just had like, my heart felt heavy just because there's so many things going on in the world. And, I just started to feel sad. Like, people are living without God, and it's like, it's hard enough in this Christian walk, and we know we have the victory. So I can only imagine how hard it is for non-believers. So I don't know, my heart was just feeling kind of heavy, and like with all the stuff that's happening and everything that's on the news. And I was actually reading out of Psalms. I was reading this book. I was doing a Bible study with this book at a local church. And when I started the Bible study, I came in like halfway, so I didn't finish it. So I was like in the middle of finishing it, and it's the power of praise. So it's going throughout Psalms. So I was reading Psalms and I kind of came across this chapter, and it kind of like, it's called a prayer for restoration. So that's kind of how I came to it. And I just thought it would be a good job to record and show you how I do this. So I'm going to be reading from this is the Christian Standard Bible. This is a Tony Evans Study Bible. So a lot of times when I read, I have my Bible app with me so I can like look at different versions of it, especially because I grew up reading the King James version. So like when things sound familiar, like I'm like, oh, it's changed a little bit, but like, in the King James version it says this. But yeah, this is the Christian Standard Bible, and I'm going to be reading from Psalms 51. I'm going to read through 1 through 5, but we're going to look through 6 to 13 to really see like how to study. So like if you have your Bible, or if you have like a Bible app, you can go ahead and get it. If you have like a pen or like a notebook, sometimes I like, writing things down, but usually I just write stuff like right into my Bible. So verse 1, this is a prayer for restoration. That's like the heading. It says, "Be gracious to me, God, according to your faithful love, according to your abundant compassion. Blot out my rebellion, completely wash away my guilt, and cleanse me from my sin." So when I was reading this, and I kind of had on my mind everything that's going on in the world, and then it says this is a prayer for restoration, and it starts with just admitting that we are sinners. So that's kind of like what this first part is talking about. Verse 2, completely wash away my guilt and cleanse me from my sin. For I am conscious of my rebellion, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you alone, I have sinned and done this evil in your sight. So you are right when you pass sentence. You are blameless when you judge. Indeed, I was guilty when I was born. I was sinful when my mother conceived me. And the thing about Psalms that I like is that it starts off kind of gloomy, and like David, he'll like start off like saying something that's really sad, or he's like defeated and he's downcast, but then it always turns into praise. So like that first part is kind of like, this is supposed to be a restoration prayer, and it's kind of gloomy, but like you'll start to see like how it kind of starts to shift. So this is the part where I really want to like focus in on. There's 6 minutes left on the clock. Verse 6, it says, "Surely you desire integrity in the inner self, and you teach me wisdom deep within." So this is the first part. This works with a lot of verses, especially if it's like a command or if it's a descriptive word. So when it says, "Surely you desire integrity," when we think of integrity, like you might have a definition of like, growing up, but the Bible, it literally says how you can be a person with integrity. So what I did was I went ahead and I like squared the word integrity in the inner self. And then when you read the next verses, it actually shows you what it looks like. So it says in verse 6, and you teach me wisdom deep within. So the first part of integrity is wisdom. So I underlined the word wisdom. And verse 7, it says, purify me with hyssop. Wait, hold on. I need to Google how to say this. This is actually, when I Googled this, I was like, what's hyssop? It looks like syrup, but it's actually a really popular plant it's actually like, I've seen it when I Googled it. I was like, oh, this purple plant. And so hold on, let me see. How do you pronounce it? I told you this is live. This is what I do. Hyssop. Hyssop. Oh, hyssop. Okay. Hyssop. So it says purify me with hyssop. And so that's the second part, purification. So integrity means first wisdom, second purification. And hyssop, it's when you look up this plant. It's a plant. I didn't know what it was. I had to look it up. And when you look at what it was used back in the biblical times, it was used to sprinkle blood in the Jewish Passover. And it was a lot more, like if you wanted to like look into it, it's pretty interesting. And it says, and I will be clean. Wash me and I will be whiter than snow. So I think purify, wash, you could underline wash. It's kind of like, and then when you think of wash, like what do you actually have to do? Like, I don't know, like I just really try to think of every little itty bitty thing. I think of like the washing machine, like it does multiple cycles. I think about like actually washing and taking the time to like, really make sure that everything is clean, whether you're washing yourself or like a dish, and you like have to check it and make sure there's no like dirt left. Like, so this is the things that like I think of when I'm doing a Bible study. I'm going to underline wash me because I didn't underline that before. And then verse 8, it says, let me hear joy and gladness. Let the bones you have crushed rejoice. So those are other descriptive words that describes integrity: joy, gladness, and also crushed. And when I saw that word crushed at first, I was like, I don't want to underline that. Like, I want all the good things. But to be honest, to be fair, like in this walk, we have to die to self. So there's going to be things that's uncomfortable. There's going to be pain. There's going to be some heartaches. There's going to be things that we're going to have to separate from and depart from. So yes, we will be crushed. But it says, let the bones you have crushed rejoice. So it's eventually going to lead to all of these good things that we want. And then it says, turn your face away from my sins and blot out all my guilt. So, and that I would focus on the part where it says, block out all my guilt. So I'm thinking, okay, then that means that we're blameless. So it kind of like goes down. It's kind of like it's like steps in it. Like you have to first do this and then do that. And then eventually we're blameless. So I mean, we've been made blameless by the blood, like period, but still this is the sanctification process, not what happens immediately. This is us actually like living out our life. So eventually all of these things and following all of these will lead to us being blameless, and people they shouldn't be able to point at us and say like this and that, because eventually the sanctification and the Lord changing us will lead us to be blameless in his sight and in other sight. So like, even though, you know what, I'm not gonna say that. I forgot this is live. I can't edit this. I was going to say like, even though it's none of their business, like it's really not, like, but we still do want to be, we want to be a good representative for Christ. So I'll say it that way. So verse 6, so like just going by everything, going down through everything. Surely you desire integrity. So integrity means wisdom, purification, to be washed. You'll have joy, gladness, you'll be crushed, and then eventually you'll be blameless. So I hope that this was helpful. Try to do the next couple verses yourself through 10 to 13, like just verses 10 to 13. And the word that I would focus on is create in me a clean heart. So I would like square the word clean heart, well, the words clean heart. And then I would look through everything and see, okay, what does it look like to have a clean heart? So I would encourage you to do that. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave it down below. Don't forget that I am praying for you. I love you and I'm here for you. Bye.